That flower arrangement you saw on Pinterest, the one that looks low, wild, and effortlessly lush, it is not made with fancy florist foam or an expensive vase. It is made with one simple tool you probably already own, a compote bowl. Insert close-up shot of finished lush compote arrangement. Today I am showing you exactly how to recreate that lush, garden fresh look at home. No floor experience needed. And by the end of this video, you will know the exact trick that keeps these arrangements from flopping over. So stick around till the end because that one detail changes everything. Before we dive in, if you love honest, no-fluff home design content, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from Home Intel. Now let's get into it. What is a compote arrangement and why it works? A compote is just a shallow, footed bowl. Think of like a fruit bowl on a stand. B-roll of empty compote bowl next to a tall vase for comparison. Unlike a tall vase that forces your flowers upward in a narrow column, a compote gives you a wide, open surface to work with. That width is exactly why the style looks so lush and low. You are not fighting gravity. You are working with it. Florists have used compotes for decades in wedding centerpieces because they create that romantic, just pick from the garden look without needing a mountain of flowers. The secret is not quantity, it is structure, and that is what we are building first. Materials you actually need. You do not need to spend a fortune on this. Here is your real shopping list. Flat lay shot of all materials laid out on a table, a shallow compote bowl, or any wide. Low dish you already own works. Even a wide ceramic bowl without a stand will do. Floral tape, the waterproof kind. This is your secret weapon, and I will show you why in a moment. Sharp floral snips or clean kitchen scissors. A mix of flowers. We will break this down next. Optional, floral frog, or chicken wire if you want an extra hold. But honestly, the tape trick alone will get you most of the way there. The grid trick that changes everything. Here is the part everyone skips and then wonders why their flowers slide around and clump on one side. Insert close-up shot of tape grid being applied to the bowl. Take your waterproof floral tape and lay strips across the top opening of your compote bowl, going one direction. Then repeat going the opposite direction. So you create a simple grid pattern, almost like a tic-tac-toe board but with more lines. Press the tape down firmly on the rim so it holds. Overhead shot of completed grid. This grid gives every single stem its own little pocket to sit in, which means your flowers stay exactly where you place them instead of sliding into a clump in the middle. This is the exact trick professional florists use, and it costs you about 50 cents in tape. Choosing your flowers for that lush look. For a low and lush arrangement, you want variety in shape, not just color. Cutaway shots of each flower type, as they are named. Think in 3 categories. First, your focal flowers. These are the bigger, showier blooms like garden roses, peonies, or ranunculus. These draw the eye. Second, your filler flowers, smaller and airy, like spray roses, waxflower, or baby's breath. These fill gaps and add softness. Third, your greenery in texture, eucalyptus, ferns, or trailing ivy. These soften the edges and give that wild, garden-grown feel. Graphic overlay showing 40/30/30 ratio breakdown. A good ratio to remember is roughly 40% focal, 30% filler, 30% greenery. You do not need 20 different types. 5 or 6 varieties is plenty for a rich, layered look. Step-by-step assembly. Start with your greenery first. This might feel backwards, but trust the process. B-roll of greenery being placed low around the bowl edges. Place your longest greenery pieces low around the edges of the bowl, letting some trail over the rim. This establishes your lush, spilling silhouette from the start. Next, add your focal flowers. Close-up shot of focal flower being placed into a grid pocket. Space them evenly across the grid. Don't cluster them all in the center. Let a few sit lower and closer to the rim, so the eye moves around the whole arrangement, not just straight up. Then fill in with your medium-sized blooms between the focal flowers. These bridge the gaps and keep the eye moving smoothly. Finally, tuck in your filler flowers into any remaining small gaps. This is what gives the arrangement that soft, cloud-like fullness. Overhead drone style shot of the arrangement taking shape. Step back every few stems and look at it from above. Since a compote is viewed from the top and sides more than a tall vase, symmetry from above actually matters here. The mistake that ruins most low arrangements. The number one mistake people make is cutting every stem the same length. Side-by-side comparison shot. Uniform stems versus varied stems. That is what makes an arrangement look stiff and store-bought. Real garden beds have flowers at every height. So vary your stem lengths. Some flowers should sit just above the rim. Others should rise 2 or 3 inches higher. This natural variation is what sells a Lush. Just cut from the garden illusion. B-roll of stem cutting at an angle. The second mistake is overcrowding the center and leaving the edges bare. Remember, the grid trick means you have room to spread stems toward the rim. Use it. Let some greenery drape over the edge. It softens a whole look instantly, keeping it fresh longer. A compote holds less water than a tall vase because it is shallow, so you need to check water levels daily. Water evaporates faster here. Close-up shot of sugar and vinegar being added to water. Add a teaspoon of sugar and a few drops of white vinegar or lemon juice to the water. This is an old florist trick that feeds the flowers and slows bacterial growth, which means your arrangement stays fresh days longer. Keep it out of direct sunlight and away from heating vents. Both speed up wilting. B-roll of stem being recut at a 45-degree angle. Recut your stems at an angle every 2 to 3 days if you can. This reopens the stem so it can keep absorbing water. Budget-friendly sourcing tips. You do not need a fancy florist to pull this off. B-roll of grocery store flower section and a local farmer's market stall. Grocery store flower sections in 2026 have genuinely improved in quality, and buying 2 or 3 separate bouquets, and mixing them often costs less than one prearranged bunch. Farmers markets are another great source if you have one nearby, and honestly your own backyard or a neighbor's garden with permission can give you filler greenery for free. Mixing grocery store focal flowers with forage greenery is one of the easiest ways to get that expensive, lush look on a real budget. Let's do a quick recap of the whole process. Fast cut montage of each step shown earlier. Grid your compote bowl with waterproof tape. Start low with trailing greenery around the edges. Add focal flowers spaced evenly, varying the height. Fill gaps with medium blooms and then filler flowers. Step back and check it from above for balance. Feed the water and keep it out of direct sun. That is genuinely the whole method. And once you do it once, you will find it faster and more intuitive every time after. That is how you build a low and lush compote arrangement that actually looks like it came from a garden, not a store shelf. Final hero shot of the completed arrangement styled on a table. If this helped you, give the video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel grow. And subscribe to Home Intel for more honest, practical home design content every week. Try this arrangement and let me know in the comments how yours turned out. I will see you in the next one.